The issue of betrayal of a spouse or a partner having an affair is really one of the biggest issues that any couple can face. And here are some of the things we found that can make a really, really big difference. The research is really clear that if you communicate about what you're feeling, the hurt, the fear, the anger, the sense of betrayal, the sense of how are you going to trust each other again, even though this may seem like, oh gosh, we shouldn't really talk about this because it's going to make everything fall apart. Really the opposite is true, that if you talk about these things, particularly with someone who can support both of you, you have a very good chance of not only reestablishing your relationship, but establishing it stronger than it was before. What we know is that people who conceal the affair and then get caught and then don't work on their relationship don't have a very good chance of them reestablishing or rekindling their relationship. So the secrets, one of the things that Freud said, people asked him at the end of his life, what was the most important thing that he had learned in his 75 years of work? He said, secrets make you sick. And in relationships, the secret of the affair is not only what fuels the affair. We've really found that it's the secrecy that really gives the affair its juiciness, not the affair itself. And when that secret gets revealed, often all of the romantic intrigue just drops away, and the person can see what it is that they got into the affair in the first place to try and achieve. The other thing that we like to recommend for partners is that both people take responsibility for having this happen. And that doesn't mean blaming yourself instead of blaming your partner. It means letting yourself genuinely wonder about what was going on in our relationship that made it possible for this to happen. And what do we need to do about that? What do we need to learn? What do we need to open up to? What do we need to kindle? It's almost always something that you had a secret about earlier, a way in which you weren't really fully participating in your relationship, that creates that opportunity for the other person to look somewhere else. If we realize that we don't get all of our sexual needs and our emotional needs met fully in our relationship in this particular sense, we want people to really enjoy all of their sexual feelings. That's one of the perks of being human. We're all walking around checking each other out all the time. And if you let yourself really enjoy that, a lot of people won't let themselves do that because they're afraid that if they let themselves feel their sexual feelings, they're going to act on them. And actually the opposite is true. If you let yourself feel your sexual feelings, you're much less likely to act on them, especially if you share that with your partner. I can remember a time in my relationship with Gay where he would just communicate to me like, yeah, now see, that woman's really hot, see, I really like the way, see how she's swinging her hips there, I really like that. And at first I got, oh, well, that means there's something wrong with me and I'm not sexy. But when I really let myself enjoy what he was enjoying, I could go, oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, I can really get why that's really attractive. And sharing that with each other allows you to share the juiciness of your sexuality without having to act on it. So we recommend that people be really clear about their agreements, enjoying their sexual feelings liberally and being really clear about their agreements with each other. So one of my agreements with Gay is that we tell each other about any kind of behavior that we wouldn't have engaged in if the other person wasn't in the room. That's one of our agreements with each other. And we haven't had that happen in many, many years, but we've been together for 32 years. So, in the first 10 years of our relationship, we had several of those conversations where, he would be at a party that I was